R-nuucell is a new biotechnology company defining a new era for cancer treatment by developing new small molecules based on a common ruthenium scaffold. The history of our recent and ambitious company provides a strong validation of its credibility. We have won several international awards from recognized institutions, and we have also raised some private capital. I would like to briefly introduce you to the team, still very much an academic spin-off, but Helena and I are the co-founders, and we have a vast experience in anti-cancer early-stage drug discovery, and we are very enthusiastic driving our assets forward. As you all know, cancer is a major cause of lethality worldwide. But are you aware that there are 3 types of cancer that are particularly lethal? Lung, colorectal, and breast represent together about 50% of all cancer deaths. This means that among each 10 of us, 1 will perish from one of these 3 types of cancer. This is an opportunity to act. The problems associated to cancer treatment are basically threefold and are interconnected. The lack of selectivity observed for the drugs in clinical use that, besides leading to severe side effects, also leads to drug resistance. Multi-drug resistance on its end is responsible for more than 90% treatment failure in metastatic cancers, and metastases that are indeed the main cause of death by cancer, since the drugs in clinical use do not target them. As such, to solve this problem, we need to address all these issues. And that's what we propose, a 3-pronged attack based on a strategic drug design for target therapy. All our first-in-drug drugs are based on a ruthenium core that is simultaneously target-specific, anti-metastatic, and able to overcome multi-drug resistance. Importantly, we have a strong intellectual property position for triple-negative breast cancer with a granted patent with application in key territories. We have a pending patent on colorectal and pancreatic cancers, and we are submitting one in lung cancer. In this slide, you can see our pipeline and near-term financing strategy. We are now seeking for €3 million seed round, primarily to drive our lead asset, PMC78, in triple-negative breast cancer to be clinical ready by completing regulatory talks and CMC. We also want to select our candidate in our second problem on colorectal cancer. And finally, we want to move forward with our earlier projects on pancreatic and lung cancer. We anticipate to mitigate some of the private costs by raising non-dilutive grants fund. Now I will show you our preliminary data on triple-negative breast cancer. Without entering too much detail, it is very important to mention that PMC78 is anti-metastatic. Only 6 treatments over 2 weeks reduce the number of metastases by 30%. You know that usually chemotherapy lasts for several weeks or months. PMC78 also shows a good pharmacokinetic profile being retained at the tumor and is an inhibitor of multi-drug resistance-related proteins. Importantly, our initial tox screen did not reveal any red flags. Regarding our competition, we can be clearly differentiated. PMC78 induces very few side effects, it targets metastases, and is able to overcome multi-drug resistance, the main components of our 3-pronged attack. In addition, its manufacturing process should be much easier, and it is estimated to be eligible to a much larger patient population. So, regarding this criteria, we can be distinguished from the competition since none of them fulfill all 5. To sum up, we are now seeking for a €3 million seed round to drive PMC78 in triple-negative breast cancer to be phase 1 ready by completing regulatory talks and CMC, and to lead our colorectal cancer asset into regulatory preclinical. Importantly, we want to expand managing team and to develop a standalone business, moving it away from the academic setting and prepare it for a subsequent Series A funding. Our technology can revolutionize the treatment of aggressive cancers. Do you want to be part of this journey? Get in touch. Thank you. Fabrizio?
Thank you for the presentation. And so metastatic cancer is becoming a very crowded space. Would you mind to just depict what the main competitive advantage would be compared to other pipeline products and companies?
Yes, so I believe we are developing chemotherapeutic agents. So regarding our therapies that are more fancy, what we can say is that our therapies can be applied to everyone, everywhere. Because they can be used in a hospital in a daily basis. So we don't need any protocols than before, just delivering the drug. Also, we believe our advantages, as I presented, are basically threefold because we are trying to address all three issues of current treatments. So the selectivity and having a specific target, also the problem of multi-drug resistance that is very important in metastatic cancers, and finally to target metastases themselves. Antonio, please.
Maybe I just want to follow up on this last point because it's not clear to me. It's a platform technology that you are developing, which take into account these three parameters. But how does it work? It's a computational base. How do you develop? How do you score a priori the molecule?
Okay, so we have many years of early drug discovery already. So we have developed at first a library of compounds, and now we know where we can change some key components to address different targets. And for example, I did not show you today, but for example, in colorectal cancer, we are targeting KRAS mutated cancers. So it really targets the mutated protein and not the wild type. But we know that if we change some other components of our molecule, we can address other type of targets, such, for example, ABC pump proteins.
I see. So it's chemical based and not target based. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I can't see any more hands raised.
We have still a little bit of time left. If there are any follow-up questions, you're welcome to ask them.
So one quick question. One of the biggest challenge when it comes to startup creation and from an academic environment is the commercial strategy, right? And to incorporate the commercial perspective more and more, even from very early. So could you elaborate a bit more on this?
Yes, so our plans are now to hire a chief operating officer and a business development director, and also a chief medical officer, so we can pursue with our pipeline with all the steps we need. From the university point of view, they are very supportive. They don't put any restraints. They just want their spin-offs to be successful.
Maybe I'll follow up on the platform component.
Sure.
You are also developing a pipeline which all goes in solid tumors, and because it's given by these three scoring function, or if you want to get the three feature that you build the platform, or you can expand to target maybe even behind oncology.
Yes, I think we can expand. Actually, nowadays we are also approaching other types of multi-drug resistance in other pathologies, and it has been successful so far. So yes, I think we can expand.
And these are all small molecule based, right? And
Yes.
the way it's inhibition and not degradation, which kind of therapeutic approach are you focusing on?
Yes, so you mentioned degradation. Sorry, I didn't really understand the last.
Yeah, just to know how you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, we have all sorts of metabolic and stability studies, and all our lead compounds are quite stable on that regard.
Yeah.
But we use a co-delivery system to be so they can be more bioavailable.